3 years old, I think. Muharram was a big thing in the family. We knew nothing about namaz and roza and hajj and zakat, but we knew about Imam Hussain because we will do at least 4 majalis every day. We go in the morning, we go in the afternoon, we go in the evening, we go in the night. Because there is a continuous majalis going on in India. And my parents were anxious that we go. And we were happy to go. Not just because it's Imam Hussain Majlis, but because of food we used to get. Okay? So we learned more about Imam Hussain alayhi salam at the younger age than anything else about his religion. And it is not just in blood, but it's a habit. The months before the, if not weeks, at least months before, we start preparing for it. Oh, I've got a black shirt, I've got a black trouser, my daughter has got this thing and that thing. We do a lot of shopping and prepare ourselves for Muharram. We make sure they have the right colors and so on.
Alhamdulillah, my first memory of Imam Hussain was when my parents used to take me to mosque during Muharram especially, and I used to sort of wonder why at that time people were wearing black and all the rest.
My earliest memory is when I was 12 years old and I was taken to the Hussainiyas. It is the first time I remembered the majalis and remembered the pain and suffering of a personality in Islam named Imam Hussain.
I remember 8 or 9 years old. We used to do latum in the street.
I always wondered why people cried for him. But as I grew a bit older, I understood what made him different. I still remember our first recitation was in the ladies' side, where my mum held us up to the mic, and we recited our very first Noha.
أيها الناس، من عرفني فقد عرفني، ومن لم يعرفني أنبأته بحسبي ونسبي. أنا ابن مكة ومنها، أنا ابن زمزم والصفا، أنا ابن من حمل الركن بأطراف الردى، أنا ابن من صلى عليه ملائكة السماء، أنا ابن من أوحى إليه الجليل، أنا ابن محمد المصطفى، أنا ابن علي المرتضى، أنا ابن سيدة النساء، أنا ابن الطهر الأكيد، أنا ابن بضعة الرسول، أنا ابن أنا ابن المرمل بالدماء، أنا ابن صاحب هذا الرأس، ذبيح كربلاء.
Because we live in a close-knit area, I mean, we were not too far away from each other, all the family within walking distance. So when there's a majlis, all the family, all the cousins and all the uncles and all the grandparents, they're all there, you see. And that was a norm. It's not something special or anything. It was a norm that everybody will go to majalis and will attend there. And one thing that I remember from early days, very short ziyarat, only 3. Assalamu alaikum ya Abdullah, assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah, assalamu alaikum Muhammad. Finished. Not long, nothing. Every majlis the same thing. Very short. And there was more emphasis on matam. That was important. Children and young people were encouraged to do matam. That was an important thing. And everybody took part in it, old, young, everybody. And speeches, yes, was always there, explaining what happened, what should have happened, and why it happened. So we learned about Imam Hussain salam and his whole, the 72, those who went there, and the ladies and the children. From a very early age, we knew almost everything about every single one of them, because we have a tradition in India that they have this, read this on the 1st of Muharram and this on 2nd of Muharram, the 3rd of Muharram. So we knew advance what will be tomorrow or what will be day after tomorrow, and on 8th of Muharram or what will be in there. But the Fazail, that was wonderful, because they really explained us, the Fazails, that that was something from where we learned all about Shiaism, all about Imam Hussain, all about the Prophet, all about Hazrat Ali, all the Imams. We learned all those things from there without going to any madrasa. We never went to madrasa. That was not tradition. It's now in England we are emphasizing on this. My grandchildren go to madrasa because we want to make sure that they don't go outside. See, in India and Pakistan that's not important. If they go to madrasa, good. If they don't, doesn't matter. They will remain within the folk. But here they can go astray. It was great in building character. For example, if you go to Pakistan today, you will find in police service 99% are corrupt. My father was a police officer. Throughout his life, he never accepted a penny and never accepted influence. If somebody comes and say, do this and do that, no. So all this thing was in the, I think as a children, we learned it from majalises, that you stand by your decision. If you think you are right, you should fight for it, and we fought for it. I mean, there was a problem in Hyderabad once, and we said, all right, you fire one bullet and see what happens. And for 60 years, there has been no problem. In Pakistan, in Hyderabad, never a Shia has been killed. Target killing is going on everywhere. Karachi especially, go to Pakistan, go to Quetta, go to Punjab, everywhere. Hyderabad, till today, one Shia has not been killed. Only last year 3 Bori was killed, but they didn't touch the Shia. Because we make sure to them that if you hit us, we'll come back and hit you so hard that you'll remember, and your children and grandchildren will remember. We'll not, for Imam Hussain, don't come anywhere near us. We'll not tolerate it. But nowadays, I don't know what's happening in the rest of the city, but Hyderabad is still safe. There was such a big unity there of Imam Hussain. Everybody, in fact, the Sunnis in Hyderabad, they are also pro Imam Hussain. They are Sunni, but for Imam Hussain they will come out. And I was living in a very isolated place called Mithi. The population of that place, 80% Hindu, 20% Muslims. It's in Pakistan. But on the 1st of Muharram, there will be a big, very high black flag, and all the Sunnis will come and do the Muslim every day. On the 10th of Muharram, they'll have a big procession. And in that big procession, there was one thing that everybody was surprised. I was surprised to see it. They have rods which is about 2 millimeter thick, steel rod. They put in the fire. And they have a special thing to hold it. And then somebody will come and take one, put it here, pass it here, and put it back there. And to my knowledge, for 10 years I know about it, not one person ever went to a doctor or a hospital. Never. They will get to that and put a bit of, that's it, go. So, I mean, that's the belief. And they were Sunnis. Not one of them was Shia. All Sunnis. And they do it every year. And then somebody was trying to stop it. An alim came, Sunni alim. So my father got up, said, look, you leave the city now. You come back here. you will end up in jail. You can't start here this thing, just go away. And then he never came back. So that was in the spirit. My father was very, very strict about it. In India, he was registrar of a university. Something happened about Shia Sunni, he beat up some people, resigned and left home. I don't want the job, I'm going home, that's it. So he was that kind of man. And that's what we learned from him. That when it comes to Imam Hussain, when it comes to the Muharram, then we don't listen to anybody. We don't tolerate anybody. We'll do what we have to do. If we have to die, we'll die for that. That is the spirit that my family always had. So what? We'll die, so we die.
اون چیزی که موجب شد این شکست نظامی ظاهری تبدیل به یک پیروزی قطعی دائمی بشود، اون عبارت بود از منش زینب کبری، نقشی که حضرت زینب بر عهده گرفت. این خیلی چیز مهمی است. این نشان داد که زن در حاشیه تاریخ نیست، زن در متن تاریخ قرار دارد، در متن حوادث مهم تاریخی قرار دارد.
I must explain that it was not my idea. Okay, I was giving a lecture at the time in the college, and two ulama, Sayyid Muhammad Sabzwari and Maulana Naqvi, what was his name, they came to me and put this thing to that why not we should have a Arba'in procession. And we had no idea what to do. I wrote an application, sent it to MP. That's the only person I know. He sent it back, it has nothing to do with it. Give it to the traffic police, they should do it. He didn't know. So they returned to us because it's nothing to do with us. At that time then I found that we learned that there's only one place for whole the country, and only they give the permission, and the office is a small office inside House of Commons. We went there, we got the permission and all that. Once we got the permission, then we were determined, no matter what happens, what it cost doesn't mean money, cost many things, we will have the Arba'in procession. And that will, from 1982, that no matter what happens, this must go on. This is Imam's Julus. When the volunteers come, I tell them one thing: this Julus does not belong to me or to you. It belongs to Imam Zamana. His ownership. Number two, those who come here, they are Imam's guests, not mine. You are just khadim. You are there to serve. Keep that in mind. That everybody attending there, young, old, man, woman, whatever, they are all guests of Imam. This is Imam's Julus. And you are there to serve, the lowest of everything. If you think something else, get out from here. The door is open, go out. I don't want you as a volunteer. If you are coming as a volunteer, then this you must remember, that you are there to serve. If somebody hits you, just walk back. Don't hit back. Don't start a fight. Come to me. That's my problem. Anybody says something nasty, don't reply. Don't give a reply, just move away. If you can't handle it, just move away. I will not accept any volunteer fighting back, verbally or physically. It has happened. There have been attacks on volunteers, but they resisted, they didn't hit back. And that's simple rule I have told them. You will not hit back no matter what happens. If you can't handle it, come to me. Come to your, because the volunteers in groups, and every group has a senior volunteer as a head. Go to him. He can't deal it, come to me. All of you know me, come to me. Don't worry about it. Just stop. But I don't want any problems.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها
In 1982, the first Arba'in procession was on Sunday. Saturday night, the whole mission was called in. They had a meeting and cancelled it. In spite of my pleading and all that, no, we can't afford it because they'll laugh at us. It's this and that. I said, listen, I'm the secretary, all right, that's okay. But this letter that has come from the Scotland Yard is in my name. I am answerable to them, not you. So tomorrow there will be a procession, and there will be 3 of us will be going. Myself, my son Bakar, and there was the Alim Sayyid Muhammad Salswari. 3 of you will go, that's enough. You don't want to come, don't come. We don't care. But this will happen tomorrow. And that's what happened. 3 of us went over there, and they were looking around, nobody's there. 4 or 5 buses filled with police around, and we were just 3 of us. In about 10 minutes I can see that 2-3 flags, alam, what we call alam, and about 50 people, they are coming. And in the end we have about 120, 125. So when question of Imam Hussain comes, then I don't listen. 1 year they wanted to cancel, after 3 years again. I said one thing straight away. As long as I'm alive, I will not allow anybody to say that whether we should have the Arba'in procession or not. When I'm dead, I don't know, but in my lifetime this will never happen, no matter what you say. I'm not going to listen to you. And that's what I did. I said, I've flatly refused. Yeah, on this point, I will not compromise. This is Imam's mission. Ownership is his. I just work for it. But as long as I'm alive, I will keep working. And my aim is always, for the last 33 years, that don't do anything that will give the police or anybody else or in authority a cause to stop it, to refuse it. So when I go to the police, I always talk to them, look, you are the experts, you know more about this, I am here, so you help me. We cannot organize this without your help, without your cooperation, without your advice. So I leave everything on them. And they are quite happy, but if you talk to them in a different tone, no, it is my right and I must have it, then becomes a problem. That I never did with the police. We always went and told them this. 4 years I was in Hyde Park. 5th year they kicked us out. They said, you can't have it. I told Mullah, what to do? I rang Scotland Yard, their friend up there. This is what has happened. They have kicked us out. They are not giving us permission. Oh, Mr. Khan, just give me 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, he rings me back. Can you start from the Marble Arch? Marble Arch, in the last 100 years, if you looked at history, no procession has started from Marble Arch. In 1985 or 86, it was the first time that we started from there. And now we have taken it over. After Imam Hussain, the most prominent thing is Hazrat Abbas Alamdar. He comes next. Go anywhere, ask any Shia, Then the next person that you hear is Hazrat Abbas Alamdar, his younger brother, or Sipah Salar, or his head of the army, or whatever you call him. That comes very prominent, and people love that. And if I put in other words, people will die for him. That's how much they love after Imam Hussain. Then comes Ali Akbar, Hazrat Ali Akbar alayhi salam. So there are few who are very, very important, about which almost most of the Shias I'm talking about, not all, will prepare to die for them, and happily die for them. And because they have so much regard for them.